Joe works remote, what it takes to be a man, and how to get out of a ticket. This week on Jim Joe Steve Show.
Here's a story about 20 years ago. Three bros who grew up in Baltimore to the beach show. Every summer they had to go before they got married with kids. Now they all grown. Long trips to New York and Toronto. Playing beer pong with Captain Morgan's. Free throws. And if you don't know, now you know. Coming in hot. Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hello and welcome back to another Jim Joe Steve Show, where every week Joe tries to find a way to get out of driving to Jim's house. My name's Joe.
I'm Steve.
I'm Jim.
And back again, our most favorite guest, Erock.
What up? I'm back. Third time.
Since Joe couldn't be here in person, we asked Eric to fill in. We have Joe on our ISDN line.
All right, guys, this was fun. I got to go. Eric, you're going to do a great job. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Jim, I like your haircut.
Dude, he fixed me up.
Can you describe Jim's haircut for me?
Good.
Not bad.
Jim got his haircut, and then I was the next appointment at the Blank Street Barbershop.
Scotch truck.
Scott's.
Oh, you guys go to the truck?
Yeah, we go to the truck. Do you go to the truck?
No. No, I would. There's another guy nearby that I went to school with.
First off, Guatemala is a country. Scott corrected me on that. And
I think that was me that said it wasn't.
Okay, well, he corrected us as a show. And also,
Steve, I like how you looked at the phone when you talked to Joe.
He
addressed the phone.
The story I told about Call Me Al, where he got the name from, that was Scott, and I said it was my buddy Justin.
Yeah, Justin don't know that stuff.
Yeah, well, it was.
Sorry, Scott. That was a good story, though.
Anything going on with you, Eric?
Yeah.
I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, but go ahead.
When's your next show, man?
The 20th. We played the Auto Bar.
And you still haven't given me a song that
It's on Spotify. You can choose whatever you want.
Eric, did you hear our episode with Jason Butcher?
Yeah, that's too talented. You guys went way over my head. I was like, this is how that guy sounds like, but once he started singing, I was like, oh, okay, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
I think you guys should collaborate and write a Jim Joe Steve Show song.
Oh, a little jingle.
That could work.
Him telling us the music that he grew up listening to, and then what he plays, it threw me off. When
he's like a more bluesy.
Yeah.
Jazz kind of.
So like Eric is what Eric listens to is what his band sounds what
You still with the Northbound Breakdown guys,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
okay.
Just punk rock stuff. 41 years old, still playing the same stuff that I was playing when I was 16.
Living a dream.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're doing
thinking about trying to get a bag of weed and being grounded.
Yeah, man. It's all about pizza rolls and ska. I don't know what that means.
You got any trumpets in there? Or
No.
saxophone? What is ska? What's the ska bands?
Trumpets.
Trumpets, yeah.
Trumpets
Horns.
and trombones.
Yeah.
his old band they had horns.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah.
We played a battle of the bands. Everybody's rolling their eyes. I know. We played with Good Charlotte, and we beat them in 1998.
I always tell people.
I think I've heard that story.
Yeah, I always tell people.
If you live in the vicinity of Baltimore, I think everybody's heard that story. But I guess who got the last laugh?
Yeah, I know. What is
I have to go to work at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
And that one's married to Cameron Diaz and just sits and just sits on a beach probably all day long.
Suckers.
Well, I was looking at trying to think about Chuck Norris and how I like to
Trying to think about him.
I can only imagine how many times Chuck Norris goes through your head.
So
I think the only trying that Steve does is trying not to think about Chuck Norris.
So I started to getting back into reading the Chuck Norris.
How long ago was that?
God, dude, I was just
Like
talking
that?
about this the other day.
Chuck Norris stuff. That was like 2000 what?
What book, Joe?
It was when I was working at the Bel Air store, because I'll never forget Jared. He comes up to me with tears rolling down his face, and he hands me this piece of paper, and he says, "Go behind the curved wall and read these." And I go behind the curved wall and just turned into a puddle. It was the funniest stuff I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, I wish they would start coming back.
And they're
'cause
just Chuck Norris jokes?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Like
now.
laugh
Do you know-
out loud?
Yes.
What do you know what Chuck Norris's Gmail account is?
No.
It's gmail@chucknorris.com.
How do you know that one?
There's a TikTok where people read them out loud, and I can't stop doing it. But what it made me think of is about how manly Chuck Norris is and how unmanly probably I am. I found an article on artofmanliness.com, and it is a list of 100 skills. Well, I'm not going to read 100, but it's skills that every man should know.
All right. Are you going to hit them random, or are you going to take top 5?
So it's kind of...
They're just random.
They're just random. And I was just curious if the guys in this room and on the phone, if you can do it, and then what do you think about it? So if every person should. So to start off easy, every man should know how to tie a necktie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does everybody here know how to tie a necktie?
I went to Catholic school for
yeah.
8 years.
Who else knows how to tie a bow tie?
Well, that's also
not
on the
on the
list.
list.
But yeah, no.
No.
So
No.
I don't. I don't even. I only wear them for special occasions,
And they
like where I
just
rent
clip,
a suit
and they
they
clip.
just clip. So
Yeah.
I've never needed to.
Yeah, it's all about clips.
I was at my buddy Mike D's wedding a couple months ago, and he wore a bow tie and didn't know how to tie it. And I actually was able to tie it on him, which I did not think I was going to be able to do.
Did you get
but I was
behind
pretty
him?
proud of myself.
Did you
No,
get
I
behind
did
him
it. I did it from the front.
All right. So every man should know how to build a campfire.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
what tools do you have?
Gasoline.
Flint,
and
wood. Wood, but
I think that means like start a fire. You got to hunt for like the twigs and then the bigger logs.
Every man should know how to hang a picture.
ugh.
Yeah.
I can put up posters.
Do you put thumbtacks through them?
Yeah, still.
No, he uses duct tape.
I just put them up.
You don't use those like little adhesive, like sticky
No,
thing?
you know what? Them frames are like cost 10 times more than an actual picture. I like posters. I still
Yeah,
get
but
posters, man.
but when you're talking
Some
about the
band
poster
posters.
being $6 and the little frames, which are still cheap at probably $12, I mean you're under $20 for a 2x3 foot picture on your wall.
Yeah, but when
Do
I
you
buy
take
it, I just
some
want to
down?
put it up right. Do I take no?
Do you take some down and replace them, or do you
Oh,
just...
it's like Tetris in my room. Like I have my own room at my house where it's just full of posters and records and stuff.
Is your mom pissed that you're putting holes in her walls?
She leaves me to my room. She said that's fair game.
Ma, meatloaf.
I got a futon in there too.
All right. Every man should know how to treat a snake bite.
You
Ooh,
suck it.
you got to
spit.
suck that venom out.
No, and it is funny because it says
Tie it off.
most of the old wives' tales are just that. Don't try and go suck the poison out. Does anyone now?
I don't know how to necessarily treat a poisonous snake bite.
I would have no idea. I guess
You tie it off so it doesn't
Yeah,
like go
if you
into
tie
your
a
system.
tourniquet, though, you can kill the limb. Is that what it says to do? You have to tie a
I
tourniquet?
mean, I think it's made like you have to just go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Do you know how to treat a snake bite? Call 911.
Yeah.
So I will say, would call 911 be an answer?
I mean,
That's what I would do.
That's what I
So
would do.
I guess none of us are manly in that aspect. This one's dumb. Read a book. I don't know how to read a book, so
I'm a very bad reader, but I do like biographies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like books.
so I don't ever read books.
Books.
So, but I mean,
You used to, Steve. You used to read sports books all the time.
I did, like with about the baseball steroid scandal and stuff like that. I used to love reading that stuff, but yeah, after that, everything
It's
just
damn
kind of went
internet,
downhill.
like TikTok and Instagram. It's like it takes all my time.
yeah,
I got time
like,
to read.
Why read a book about something that are probably going to make a movie about, and then I'm just going to watch that?
It's
I don't give a shit.
You know, being manly is part of patience, and you just wait for the movie.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, speaking of probably books that then became movies, do you know The Revenant? Do you guys remember that?
Nope.
With the bear,
With the bear. So no, on this list is you should know how to survive a bear attack.
No fucking way.
survive, you just curl up.
You're
You either get real
supposed to
loud.
get as big as you can and
Yeah.
make as much noise as you can and look scary. That's the only way you're doing it.
And back away slowly.
Like how did?
But
like,
don't run.
Don't run and don't climb a tree.
So I watch this TV show alone all the time, and in it, they're like all by themselves. They're hence the name, but they have to they have to try to. There's bears all over the place, and they're constantly going like, "Hey bear, go bear," and they gotta stand up and put their arms up real high. So Joe's right, but I don't know how you would survive a bear attack.
I mean, I'm sitting in a house saying this. If it was in real life, I'd probably just crap my pants and faint.
Yeah.
I saw a video just the other day of a black bear climbing a tree, and that thing got up the tree
It's quick.
in no time flat.
And they can, their top speed will close any gap that you guys have between you
Oh
and the
yeah, you
bear.
ain't running away from one.
But I only have to be faster than you, Joe.
Have you ever seen a bear without hair?
Yes.
They're the ugliest things in the world.
They're so fucking weird looking. Have you ever seen one, Joe?
No, where can you go to see that?
Internet.
The internet. Dude, they're so ugly.
Google
looking.
bear. You ever look at animals without hair, like different, like cats
Yeah, it
without
makes
hair?
you look twice.
I mean, I've seen Scott's cat.
But other animals without hair, like they look so fucking weird. It's crazy.
Like a snake.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like a snake.
It's like a snake.
Somebody always says that.
It-
Whenever somebody says snake, somebody has to say snake.
Think if you come up with something that, like,
15
it
years
totally
later.
changes the way people think
Yeah.
about it, and they always have to say
Like
something.
dogs now. When I see a dog, can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
I always think of saying, "Oh, I want to Andy Pettit that dog."
And that's why Stephanie hates you.
yeah, that is true. So she thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Will Ferrell single-handedly brought the word ginormous into regular speech.
What about the thing Festivus Maximus? Remember, like
That was Seinfeld.
That was
George.
No, that was
was that Seinfeld?
Yeah, that was
football,
Seinfeld.
right?
It's
It
something to do
wasn't
with
Festivus
football, but
that's when
Maximus.
we
It was
won that was
Festivus
like the
as the
playoffs.
holiday.
Festivus for the rest of us. But I don't know the context of that
Neither do
episode.
I. But I remember a whole bunch of people.
it was
saying,
the Christmas like
Right.
it was, yeah,
But I don't know how that came about.
yeah.
Is it a
I
life?
think Billick made it up.
Sounds right.
Is it a life leak that I've never watched Seinfeld?
What?
I've never
Oh, my
watched.
God.
I've never. So I've watched one half episode about the soup Nazi one because everybody, like at the time, everybody was talking about it.
It
That
still
was,
holds
that
up.
wasn't even a great episode.
That's the only one I've ever watched. But I feel like the time has passed for me to watch Seinfeld. Like, does it?
Disagree.
No,
I think
man.
it still
Does
holds
it
up.
hold up?
up.
It does
It
hold
holds up.
I can make a confession. I've never seen The Big Lebowski.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like that is your type of movie.
I know. It just missed
I'll tell
me.
you-
I don't know.
Big Lebowski, kind of overrated. Kind of
Yeah.
overrated.
I was hungover one New Year's, and that's when I watched The Big Lebowski, and I wanted to watch it so bad. I went out to like Walmart and bought the DVD just so that I could watch it.
The female version of you is in that movie, Jim.
Well, now I'm going to make a point to check it out.
There's a female
It's
in that
fine.
movie?
It's fine.
Tara,
It's a fun.
Tara Reid.
Oh, yeah. She's in. Oh, it's so fucking ridiculous. Well, back to trying to be a man. All right, Joe, do you want to go back to being a man?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Fix a leaky faucet. I do feel like every man should know how
Yeah.
to do that. I know you do, Eric.
My wife does all that stuff. Does all the electrical. I'm just there for the jokes and to get blamed for everything.
Well, it's good because the next one is tell a joke.
Yeah, I can tell some jokes. I got jokes.
If all four of us can't say yes to that, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're probably doing it wrong. Probably this episode is probably an issue.
One more.
One more.
Okay, two more.
Identify poisonous and edible plants.
I can do poisonous.
I know poison ivy.
I know one edible plant. No, like I like other than a vegetable. I know, like, you know, those weeds that grow all over the place that like they look like they have spiky leaves on them, but they're not actually spiky.
Dandelions.
They look kind of fuzzy.
Yeah. They're like dandelion leaves. So you can if you take like the rib.
Are they dandelion leaves, or do they look like dandelion leaves?
No, I believe it is a dandelion.
Oh, okay.
They've got spiky looking leaves.
Yeah.
If you take like the center rib out of the leaf, you can eat the leaf, and it doesn't taste bad.
And I've heard that it has certain qualities, anti-cancerous qualities. If you boil the dandelion and then drink it as tea.
Yeah, I saw that. I read.
Yeah.
Or heard it.
I had
And if you find a mushroom that's growing out of cow poop and you eat that,
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
It's natural, baby.
The taste of the colors is just amazing.
okay. How about this one? Always know north.
Nah.
Yes,
You know which way is north?
absolutely.
Really?
All the time.
I'm pretty confident that I know that as well.
I mean, it just goes by the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the North Star is a thing,
Well,
but I don't
okay.
know
So,
where
wait
it
a
is.
minute. So the sun rises in the east, and sets in the
I knew
west,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So how do you know? Oh, so
It just hit his face.
so if I'm which way am I facing right now?
South.
God damn.
I mean, he could fucking say anything, and I can't
True.
question him.
Okay, well, here's a quick reminder,
Oh my
just to
God.
get general ballpark. Where are you at in relation to 95? 95 south, north.
Yeah.
So
I guess,
that'll give you always a general idea.
That's not necessarily true because in Maryland, 95 runs southwest to northeast.
I
It
know.
doesn't really run north.
But the general idea, if you have no clue, 95 typically runs north to south. But yes, you are correct. I don't need to use 95 because I know based off the sun. But if you didn't have a clue, you could use 95.
If the sun's getting low in the sky, do you know how to like estimate about how much time until the sun goes down?
I do know this. You hold your fingers up, and each finger is 15 minutes.
That's right.
I don't know why I know that.
Have you ever used that?
Yes, I do it all the time because I'm
Because
I'm like
3 hours
I'm,
till sunset.
I'm like,
Like,
all
what
right.
time does the bar close?
Yeah, I know. I do.
Steven Stepper's sitting on the couch and she's like, do you know what time it is? And he runs outside real quick and holds his fingers against the sky.
I'm like 30 minutes till sunset. She'll be like, "What time is that?" And I'll be like, "I don't know."
30 minutes from now.
I can't math. Now, I feel like this is definitely something to be manly. Do you know how to throw a knockout punch?
No.
I mean, do I know how to throw one? 100%. Could I execute it? Unlikely.
I feel the same. I think a knockout punch with somebody who's fighting back in a street fight is almost luck if you're just throwing haymakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's just
Right. Who connects?
He's
Who's
got to hit
going?
him on the button.
There's no skill.
I threw one knockout punch one time, and so I feel like I
Why we've not heard about this in all your
Was I there?
kick-ass
no,
stories?
you weren't there.
Oh wow.
So
Was it a girl?
no, it wasn't. no. And you know what?
Surprisingly, no, Joe.
I peaked. I was one time I did think I was about to throw a knock, or I know one time I saw Eric almost try to throw a knockout punch,
Oh God.
and and it didn't happen. We were like walking home from like a 4th of July party, and we were walking
No,
home.
we were in the woods.
Yeah, but we were cutting through the woods to get somewhere, and some guys came out of the woods. Some guys came out of the woods, and they threw beer cans at us. And
Empty or full?
they were empty.
Yeah, we were walking out.
I mean,
we were
how
in
much
the
velocity
woods,
does an empty beer can
drinking
have?
beers in the woods, like every other 18-year-old person does. And we're walking out, and these other group of kids were walking in, and they said something to my girlfriend, and I don't know why I got the courage. So I turn around, and I'm just like, all right, we're gonna fight now.
I like the formalness of it.
Yeah. And I swung and completely missed everything and slipped and fell on
Yeah.
the ground. And the next thing I know, it's just fist and feet just on my face.
Eric ran so fast to punch this guy, and he just slipped on the wet grass, and it was
Too
over
much
bef-
momentum.
It was over
I get
before it started.
stitches.
And
Oh.
then I turned around, and a guy hit me dead square in the nose, busted my nose. So we didn't fare well in that fight.
I don't fight, man.
I don't fight either.
There's really no. I mean, we're too old at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody actually wants to get punched in the face.
It's all fun and
Nobody.
games till you get punched in the face.
Yeah, I don't think there would be anything in the world that I would probably. I mean, there probably is, but
Not counting like bad, like real bad
yeah,
stuff.
real bad stuff. But I mean, there's no
names.
reason I would go somewhere and then get into a fight with somebody like at a bar.
No,
or
it's
something.
it's not a fun time. And growing up, there were those guys who that was almost a goal.
Yes.
If not like a actual goal, like they left the house prepared to get in a fight, which is really awkward and weird to think that, hey, let's go out and have a good time. Let's go get in a fucking rumble.
Yeah,
You know, like that was never in my mind. Speaking of things you should do as a man, I've told you guys my life hack of how to never pee on your pants
Yeah, never dribble.
and never dribble.
This
It's
is
tried and true.
This
You
is
don't dribble.
it folds.
Sorry.
Yes, this is actually one of the best things you've ever told me is how not to get pee on your pants.
I need to know this.
Okay, so
need to.
you're taking a pee, right, and you're done,
Okay.
and then typically throw
You're
it
never
back,
done.
throw it back in your shorts or whatever, and you go, and then next thing you know, you got pee on your front. So when you're done peeing, this is important. When you're done peeing, take 2 march in place steps. You don't have to lift your feet off the ground, but just do enough where you just 2 little, 1 in each foot, boom, boom, and then you're done. And that little motion will prevent
Seals the deal.
any pee from coming out and
Wow.
dribbling on you.
Is this you? This came from you?
Yeah.
What was
That's
the
impressive.
process to come up with that? Did you just try different things like?
Yeah, I think, you kind of like do an extra squeeze, like, I mean, there's a lot of extra motion.
like-
And then one day I was just like, I took a little step and then I was like, I think that works.
I used to do a full squat down to the ground and be like this, like try to like force it out back up when
Clap
I
them
stood
cheeks.
back up. So yeah. What's a fact that that you always tend to tell people that you're?
If you got a loose thread on a shirt, I always burn it.
Yeah,
That
instead
makes-
of yanking it.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
My grandfather always, when you get a mosquito bite, take your like thumbnail and like put an X in it, and it'll stop itching.
Dude, I've always done that.
Yeah, dude.
That's so funny. You might have been the one to
Dude,
tell me
my
that.
son's always like, put X in my mosquito bite. It works, man. It's
Mom's
100
kiss it, dad's put an X in it.
yeah.
If you ever get pulled over, when you turn your car off and put your keys up on your roof.
I think you got pulled over one time and I was in your Jeep. And I'm like, what is this motherfucker doing? He just threw his keys on his roof.
So we're out doing whatever. We got an 18-pack of Colt 45s in a car. So we chop these 2 girls. They're done hanging out with us. So we drop them off at Bowhager's. I guess we were speeding. I mean, we weren't drunk. But we get pulled over. I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. So it's just like an 18-pack scattered on the back seat. Some are drunk, some aren't. And it's like, what are you guys doing? And I used the excuse. I was like, man, we were trying to hang out with these girls, and they wound up just making us take them to Bowhager's, and now we're going home. And the guy was like, oh, that sucks, man. He's like, oh, I feel bad for you guys. All right, I'll keep it moving, guys.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah.
We
You
bought all
silly
these
kids.
beers for these girls and then they
We're
left
like, we
us.
bought these beers for these girls.
A whole bunch of Colt 45s in the back.
Sometimes if you are just
Honest.
like crazy honest or just some dumb excuse that maybe they haven't heard yet and it's, it's not life-threatening, then sometimes I feel like they're like, all right, keep it
Dude,
moving.
Whenever it's like, do you know what you're doing? I'm like, yep, speeding. They're like, oh, word. All right. All right.
Word. I got out of a ticket one time because the cop came up and did the whole thing, and I was like, officer, you can't give me a ticket today, man. And he's like, why is that? And I said, because it is such a nice day. And he looked at me and said, well, I've never heard that one before. Keep it moving.
That's some Jedi mind tricks.
And I just left. And I was like, holy shit. So sometimes just a crazy excuse Works.
That's so ridiculous. Yeah.
Once you start spouting off like the law, I think you're always in. You're never.
because then they're like,
never
oh,
coming
yeah.
out on the other side.
Then they're calling their buddies like, we got another lawyer over here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
they
need
do that.
backup for this guy.
Joe, are you cooking soup?
No.
I felt like
He's definitely eating something.
I started snacking on macadamia nuts, and I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me or not.
We can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't eat while you're recording a podcast.
Joe, how easy do we have to make it for you?
You just get an AI, Joe. Yes.
I know.
Jesus.
I'm just trying to bring some additional comedy to the show.
Oh my god.
Oh, so
He's
you're
the every man's man.
Yeah, he's so manly.
doing
He's
it for us.
there. I know. He just sits there and eats macadamia nuts.
Off his hairy
I,
chest.
am doing it. I'm doing it while I'm hanging pictures and sucking snake venom.
does macadamia nuts? Do people get those?
Joe does.
Like,
Dude,
I don't
they're
think
delicious.
I don't even know what they are.
They're in cookies.
So I feel like that's
Yeah.
not a regular Joe. Once again, Joe always
That's like
gets
old people stuff.
Joe always gets weird shit with people.
For the record, they're grown on a tree, not in a cookie.
But I mean, that's where most people see them.
Why are they? What about peanuts? Don't peanuts grow underground?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
ever
dude.
see like a
Yeah.
I don't, what do you call it?
So do most nuts grow on trees, or
You know
do
how
they
much
grow
water it
underground?
takes to grow peanuts and stuff? It's a lot.
Is it?
Have you ever seen a cashew?
Are they poisonous?
They are poisonous until they're roasted, and they like the cashew is connected to the tree, and then it has this like apple looking thing hanging from the bottom of it. Cashews are bizarre.
All that for a nut.
I know it's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
What have you done for a nut?
Think
Drive the Bowhagers. With a Colt 45.
like how many? Yeah, like how many people had to go through to find out that you need to only eat one part of a cashew where it has a big ass apple on the end of it, and all that's poisonous except for the
Oh
cashew.
man,
Many
I
deaths.
thought that like so many times. Like who cracked open an oyster and was like, "We should eat this."
Well, who decided to pop popcorn, and why did they stop at that to try to pop? Is that the only food that we've ever tried to pop?
Oh, like if there's other foods that you can cook that
that'll
do the
pop.
same thing?
I mean,
That
why?
sounds like a YouTube channel. Does it pop?
Like why did we stop at popcorn?
I don't know.
I mean, we might not have. We might have tried to pop everything, and it's just the only thing that pops. It would be a pretty lame YouTube channel.
Just one.
Nothing ever popped.
Right. So, sorry, guys. Again today on another episode, does it pop? It doesn't.
It's like those ghost hunter shows. They never see a ghost. They never see a
the
But
ghost.
at the end of the episode, they always hear something, and,
Yeah,
and then that's just the cliffhanger to the next one. That they
Yeah,
don't,
it's
nothing
always
happens.
those fucking ghost shows make piss me off all the time.
Yeah, but remember Blair Witch when that first came out?
Yeah,
We thought it was real.
we did think it
Yeah.
was real,
But
but
that was the first like online campaign marketing thing.
yeah, the like
We
viral
thought
things.
it was real.
I know.
Yeah.
We bought the tickets. We went and bought the tickets.
We bought,
I
like,
think I've
the-
said
Yeah,
told this on the
we already told the
podcast.
story, yeah.
But yeah, I
But
always
Joe doesn't
stupid.
remember. Please tell it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
No,
It's a movie.
I saw it. I seen it.
You
I don't
seen it?
believe in ghosts,
Yeah.
and
Me
I
neither.
ain't afraid of no ghosts.
I used to believe in ghosts, but I found
Oh,
out
that's
I had
right.
I had sleep paralysis.
No, he was dead serious about that stuff.
Let's play a game. Joe, where are you right now in your house?
In my living room,
All right.
pacing on the same rug.
All right. Go over to the pantry in your kitchen and read us like 5 things out of your pantry and see if normal people have these things.
Okay. Albanese gummy bears.
So I'm going to what are they called?
Albanese, they're the best gummy bears you can buy.
If it's not Harbo,
Yeah.
They wipe the floor with Haribo. Haribo is homeless people gummy bears.
oh man, shots fired.
He got him at JoJo's.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like that's a big fat no. No one has
All right.
those things.
All right, ghee.
Say that again?
Was that a word?
Ghee,
karate-
clarified butter.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
What do you use clarified butter for?
It's ghee.
Like if you want to cook something in butter, but you like butter burns, like the milk dairy portion of the butter burns. So if you separate like the fat out of the butter, that's what the ghee is.
What do you use that for?
He just told you.
Ghee stuff.
That's so ghee.
A lot of Indian recipes call for ghee.
All right. So unless you're on another continent, you don't have ghee in your. All right. What's next?
Back to Indian food, golden curry.
You will never find curry in my house ever.
All right. I'll give him because
That's
I've heard of
Okay.
curry, so I'll give him
That's
that.
basic.
All right. Two
Nutella.
Nutella? Yeah, I got Nutella. I don't eat it, but I have a jar of it.
I've never eaten Nutella.
Dude, I hate
okay.
that stuff. Peanut butter and Nutella's disgusting.
You don't like peanut butter?
I
I
can't even touch it.
Are you allergic or you just
I'd rather
hate?
touch poop.
I'm
dead serious. Everybody that
probably
knows
eat
me
peanut
knows it.
butter every day.
I can
in
eat
some
tuna
capacity.
fish every day. Tuna fish.
Yeah, I do like some tuna fish.
Yeah, peanut butter. Boo.
Do you put the relish in it? The tuna fish?
I put celery.
I do love some celery. A
Gotta
little
get that
celery,
crunch,
relish,
little crunch.
throw some Old Bay in it, mix it up.
Yeah,
All right,
tuna-
Joe, last one. What you got?
All right. Tazo wild sweet orange tea bags.
You just set yourself up for that one.
Do you put the whole tea bag in your mouth?
No, it goes in the glass, you bag of shit.
Squeezes it with his tongue.
Yeah. He's like, let me make sure I get all that juice out.
Don't wheeze the juice.
That makes the tea bitter when you squeeze it.
Yeah, okay. That is another life hack. I've learned, and this is pre-internet, that you don't squeeze the tea bags when I'm making iced tea.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know,
too.
you just let them dangle for a minute.
If you want to make it stronger, increase keep the amount of time that it steeps
Right.
in the water low. If you want it stronger, use more tea bags.
Yep. Never squeeze the bag.
Never squeeze
Don't
the bag.
squeeze the bag.
Life lesson.
Thanks for indulging me, gentlemen.
No problem.
Eric, thanks for being another guest. Always fun to have you.
Always, man.
Follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and everything else at
Jim Joe Steve.
Give us a call at
856 the JJSS.
and leave us a message about what you think one thing that makes you a man is.
Or prison stories, because I'm
Or
still waiting
prison
for prison
stories.
stories.
Steve wants some prison stories. Send our podcast to 3 people this week. Three people. Just only 3, not 4, just 3.
Tag 3 people in posts. Done.
And if you tag us in a post, I'll send you. We got like a dozen koozies left. I'll send you a koozie.
We
Anywhere
have
in the
more
U.S.
than a dozen. I got some.
Oh, you got some?
I got some.
Fine. More than a dozen.
You said it 'cause
We have
fine.
15.
I'll send anywhere in the U.S. I don't care. Tag us in a social media post.
All right. For the Jim Joe Steve Show, my name is Joe.
I'm Steve.
I'm Jim.
I'm Eric.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Trolling till the lights had all gone out. Crash into a field and ran aground. Kept feeling like I've been here once before. I left the car and I looked up at the stars. I'm wondering what I'll say to her when I get back. I guess I'll never know. The only thing I'm sure of now is that I'm never going home again. Never going home. Remember that apartment where we grew? Our love together, it was all so new. The ink of it keeps splashing through my head. The thought of you leaving makes me sick. I wanna take back every single word I said when I was on one knee. Just another promise that I swear I will never keep. Yeah, that I will never keep. Strangled on my heart was double fisted. I've been missing something that never existed. Coming round to see you
as the world